Okay, Dragon 14. This is the Lotus Shovelhead Fae. Now, this started off simple enough, just a big sort of an egg shape. And what, interestingly enough, it kind of started to remind me of right away. If you cover the drawing from the neck down, it almost looks like a goldfish of sorts, like an ornery little goldfish. And I think that's where the influence of the Fae came from, because, I see this guy as being small because of that. Something, that in that size range, like a goldfish, something you could hold in your hand. He might sit in a flower or something of this nature. So, that's kind of really where the shape started. But then, obviously, I wanted to give him a little more of an attribute, or her, I should say, him or her. I haven't really decided whether this is a male or a female, but that aside, I wanted to give him or her some horns and some of the dragon attributes too. So that's where the little row of spikes going down the top of the head, and the big one coming out the back of the head, I thought was just interesting. It was just something created out of the pattern of the horns. It just suggested that they kind of keep going on. And I thought that was neat. And again, there are different animals in nature where, they have these horn arrangements and growth that, provide some there's a reason for them, for the way they are, whether it's to attract a mate or for some utilitarian purpose. I didn't really work that out on this guy as much as some of the others yet, but that's where the design, the shovelhead sort of design came from, and also where I inferred a lot of how I would deal with him as far as scale. And again, just playing off of that sense of the goldfish anatomy, it has that big round sort of cheeky pouch, which I thought was kind of interesting, and it just changed up the shape of the head a little bit from some of the other sketches that we've been doing here. So the concept kind of moved in a little bit of a different direction. Now, Fae dragons, to me, they're sort of fairy-like dragons. That's really what, another way of putting it. With this example, I went with, a more traditional sort of batwing design. But this could have also had something like a butterfly wing. Now I'm just, at this point, I'm just getting in here and trying to punch up some of the accent darks and things like that, just to really bring that rounded sort of head shape forward. The face reminds me, it's also kind of snake-like too, in the way the nostrils are positioned. Just, at this point here, we're just trying to establish a little more of the form and things like that. But I can see where, I would like to probably pursue a different anatomy to the wing, just so this little example here would fall more into the Fae family, to go with something that has a little more of a butterfly-like look. I do think, though, that the basic composition of the wing is fine. I like the placement of it and the general silhouette that we're creating here. So there we go. The Lotus Shovelhead Fae.